feels really weird not wearing my glasses. Good evening, friends. Now that was good. But come on, we can do better. Good evening, friends. That's more like it. Good evening and welcome to Littleport Christian Spiritualists. Welcome to Littleport Village Hall and welcome to this, our Thursday service of Mediumship. Thank you all for coming. Familiar faces, new faces, faces that haven't been around for a while, but of course all faces. Thank you and welcome to another evening of love, laughter, upliftment and proof of survival, where we come together to witness the proof and the truth that life is eternal. And of course, we do this every week by welcoming a medium to our hall. And tonight's medium is a very good friend of ours. I have the great pleasure of having watched this young lady grow and develop from strength to strength, and she's going to smack me in a minute. And I know, of course, that Wendy will be over the moon to have you back. So please give a big Littleport welcome to the lovely Tracy Bidwell! And of course, tonight is a night just like every other. We will have healing, we will have philosophy, and of course, mediumship. But as ever, we begin, as we always do, by opening this evening in short prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends, to witness that life is indeed eternal, and to come together to celebrate the lives that we have shared, the paths that we have walked, and that we can indeed stay in touch through mediumship and through that natural gift that is given to all and practiced by few, the ability to communicate with the world of the Great Spirit. As we place this service in your care and keeping as ever, we make the statement that everything we do is in the name of love, in the name of truth, and in the name of light. Amen. Well, next, of course, notices. Should we need to evacuate the building, our exits are here, here, and through here. Yes, there is one just over there, even though you can hardly see it. And, of course, the kitchen is go for it, grab your own, whatever you want, within reason. Obviously, don't take the oven away. It was quite expensive. And the lavatories are out the back. As far as notices on what's going on, it's going to be quite a big one. Because this coming Sunday at 11 a.m., we've got our monthly workshop in this hall. It is £15. It does, however, come with lunch and runs through till just after 4 o'clock usually. This one is called Back to the Spirit. No giveaways there that I'm a science fiction fan, but what the hey. But that workshop will be about spiritual development and many other wonderful things. So look forward to seeing anyone who wishes to attend come to that. We do ask people book in advance, purely and simply because we provide lunch. The following Sunday, of course, Reverend Alan, who you'll see in a few minutes, will be back in the hall, and along with the wonderful Eunice in that room over there for the drum healing circle. That's at 10 o'clock and runs till 2. So you can tell that I'm trying to squint severely because I'm not wearing my glasses, but yeah, 10 till 2. And that is another wonderful, 10 till 1. 10 till 1. Okay. I hope that was what you were doing anyway. You can see what you got tonight. Darned me for forgetting my glasses, I tell you. So that's 10 till 1 the following Sunday. Out of interest, if anyone is not of this area, there's a Q&A going on in Bourne near Peterborough on Wednesday night. But I get to talk philosophy. all night. That is at Bourne Spiritualist Church. Roll back to Tuesday. I'll be visiting our neighbour in Prickwillow, Sacred Souls, at their service, and I'm also visiting the lovely Barbara Price in March, not the month, but the place, on Monday night as well. So if you're interested, a little bit of shameless self-promotion there, don't mind if I do. And of course, we will be back with another demonstration of mediumship next week. Greg Pettit is the medium. Wow, look at that. Next week, our medium is Greg Pettit. So really, really a lot going on, and it is wonderful. And there is more going on. There's something else, but I'm leaving it out of the notices because it deserves better than just being a notice. And it's at this time where I talk about the philosophy of spiritualism. And one of the most important things about spiritualism and being spiritual, because not everybody likes to identify with a particular title, and that's fine too. But one thing about this way of life is that everything reverts back to healing. Mediumship is a form of healing, getting that message of support and encouragement, of an upliftment, getting that contact to prove that life is eternal, in itself is very healing. Getting that assistance from spirit gives us that healing vibration. We, of course, have our absent healing on a Thursday night where we send out our thoughts to all those that are sick and suffering and in need of comfort. And, of course, at the beginning of the service, Tony is always hidden away in his little corner over there, offering hands-on healing. It's also available after the service, but people would much rather have a cup of coffee and tea and biscuit or get home, I assume. But it is there if it's needed. But everything we do is centered around healing. And it's no magic. It's not incantations and conjurations. It is one of the most natural things we can do. If you think about it, if a child falls and bashes its knee, first put your hand on it. They're there. Don't worry. And you place your hand. You naturally offer healing and kindness. That is a natural default mode. And of course, in spiritualism and in this way of life, it's no different. Everything is about upliftment, kindness, and love. But in a world in which we live, you can never rest on your laurels, and you can never say, that's enough. Having a conversation with someone, a cup of tea and sympathy, that's an act of kindness and an act of healing. And everything always comes back to that word, to heal. But what is healing? We understand the mediumistic healing, we understand as being something about the transmission of energy, the offering of energies from spirit, through spirit, to spirit, just like a message. We understand that naturally happens when you offer kindness from you through the situation to the person. But there are many different ways of doing things, as in every walk of life. One of the wonderful things about working with spirit is that you get to hear all of the different stories from the people that you work with in the world of spirit that are based around how things have progressed over the years. If we look back thousands of years, healing has always been the focus. Everybody knows that in Wicca and witchcraft, the sympathetic energies that are offered in order to help people were always very central. I'm reminded, of course, that we live in an area where that if you want some water, there should be some in the fridge, my lovely. We live in a wonderful area. You think about it. Wiccan, as in Wicker. Coveney, as in Coven. And Witchford, well, we won't talk about that too much considering what they used it for. However, people used to visit the local witch, not to get curses, not to get incantations, but I've got something going on with me. Can you help me? Because there's that word again, help. Helping each other is healing. Helping each other is kindness. And of course, it always comes back to that statement. The way to change the world is to be kind. Kindness is not a difficult thing. Kindness is patience, giving time, listening, talking, and offering support. And kindness really is the way to change the world. To put it as a way as I always do, just be nice. That in itself is a form of healing. And when we stand here focused on our philosophies and our readings and our mediumships, we are still focused on healing. We are still focused on kindness. Because this world needs love. This world needs compassion. And certainly at the moment, this world needs kindness. There's been a lot of passing to spirit over the last few days. There always is, unfortunately, when there are 8 billion people on a magnetic ball of rock that's bubbling away slightly lower than the surface. There is always going to be people passing to the world of spirit. But when one moment of raw natural power removes 10,000 people, if not more, from the surface, what we need to do is be kind, to send our thoughts, and not just to them, because as we know when it comes to our demonstrations of mediumship, the people that need help are not necessarily the ones that have gone. They're getting their help. It's us that's left behind. So be kind, be generous with your ear, heal each other, because that really is the way to change the world. To bring upliftment, to bring generosity, and even to bring laughter can be a healing gift too. And if that means that we will play Baby Shark at the beginning of each service before we start broadcasting each week, then that's what we will do, even though Eunice will probably beat the what's it out of me for doing so. But a bit of a giggle can be of benefit. So remember to share your love and your laughter. And when it comes to ensuring that the world is given healing, stay tuned, because later on we're going to put our money where our mouth is. Thank you all for listening, and God bless you all. And of course, it is this time of the service where I ask us all to say that magical incantation that I say that we don't do, because we're now going to have our reading from Reverend Alan. And of course, he's not physically here, so we have to summon him somehow. Unfortunately, he's online, so we only have to say, Reverend Alan, are you there? That wakes him up and he knows to start doing his reading. And we always hope that the reading ties into the philosophy. So we will see if Spirit have indeed been listening. When we say those magic words, Reverend Alan, are you there? After 3, 1, 2, 3. Reverend Alan, are you there? Yes. Are you there, dear?
I am.
Hey.
Good evening, Littleport. Good evening, Reverend Nick. Good evening, everybody online that's watching now and that will watch in the future. This morning I did as I normally do, was start trolling to see what I am drawn to. And when they give this to me, I thought, how on earth is this going to tie in? It is called Every Scar Has a Story. And it's by Christina DiCarlo. Every scar has a story. What will mine tell? What will come of this when I'm better, when I'm well? I want my scar to tell of how I overcome, of how I made it through, of where I came from. I want my scar to whisper about the pain I faced, about this very hard time, about the marathon I raced. But mostly, I want my scar to speak of something greater. I want it to shout about my living creator. Let my scar be evidence that there is a loving Lord who fought my scary battles, on whose wings I soared. Let my scar proclaim that all things work for good, that by myself I couldn't, but with my God I could. Let them take a look, let them peek and see. My scar shows God is great. It points to him, not me. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Everyone, Reverend Alan. Well, yeah, you always find when we worry about it the most, they tend to prove that they are indeed listening. And I think absolutely, yes, life is a marathon and it's the healing that helps, especially from the world of spirit. So, Alan, apart from getting ready to come back to Littleport next week, what are you doing in the next 7 days?
Probably babysitting, and my granddaughter's just got a house that needs decorating. So, yes, I'm going to be plenty busy.
And how is that gorgeous new member of the planet?
Oh, she's just absolutely adorable. Absolutely. And she's so tiny.
Yes.
I will take some photographs to bring with me.
Fabulous. Excellent. Alan, as always, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you in the flesh next week.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Reverend Alan. Well, friends, now, of course, is the time where we at least start to put our money where the mouth is, where we send our healing thoughts out to those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort. Feels odd that this might be the last time we do it this way. We send out our thoughts through absent healing by visualizing and imagining the person that needs healing the most. From time to time, I am prompted to remember to pick the book up. I've also been asked to add a name to it, which I will, which is why I just remembered. And you know, it really does work to send your thoughts. But please remember this. You are allowed and in fact encouraged to ask for yourself. And that's important too. So we will say our absent healing prayer and listen to some music. And if you don't want to close your eyes, there'll be some candles burning brightly on the screen. And send out our thoughts to all those who are in need of help and healing. And remember to ask yourself. And whilst you do, please consider Ivor, Bernie, Janet, George, Betty and family, Brenda and family, and Jonathan. And so we will say the healing prayer and take a few moments of reflection. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, Here we bring unto you all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort, be they sick in mind, body, or spirit, that it may please thee to heal them. This we ask for those we know, for those we do not know, and those who have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now. Amen. Amen. Thank you, friends. Well, now is the time of our service that everyone has been waiting for. And, you know, one of the things that I'm sure those that have been coming a long time will know, or those that have just started to get to know us, will know that we do like a little bit of cheek from time to time and a little bit of a giggle. So I'm going to refer to this part of the service exactly as I was told as it was earlier. Isn't that right, Barry? This is the bit where everyone is really excited because they're half asleep by the time Nick's finished. Apparently. And yes, that is strike one, baby. But of course, it really is the bit that I know people do look forward to, that moment where we prove everything that we've been talking about. We don't just have hollow promises in this way of life. It is all about the proof of the pudding. And I know that you are in very good hands tonight. Should Tracy come to you, please answer in a clear voice. Yes, no, don't know. It's not necessarily because spirit need to hear it, it's just that everyone else in the room is nosy, including Barry. 2. But of course, do have an uplifting and wonderful evening. And give her a big Littleport round of applause, long enough for me to plug her in. Give it up to Tracy Bidwell!
Not sure I like that. This thing. Good evening, everybody. It's really lovely to be back here. It's been a little while, and it's nice to see the church building up again and more people come in. Brilliant. The way I work, I tend to just go with whatever happens and just go with it. I never know from one week to the next how Spirit are going to communicate through me. I don't always go straight to you. So if I say something that sounds familiar or you feel a bit of a tug from here, just put your hand up and we'll work with that. Okay? Everybody ready? Yeah. Okay. So as I was sitting there, I already had somebody who was very keen, which is unusual for me. They normally wait until I start talking and then jump in. But the gentleman I had there, he really had problems swallowing. I thought I was going to drink a lot of water because it was just like the swallowing. I couldn't get the swallow to go down. So I do believe this might be some of the condition this gentleman may have had. And as I feel his energy comes closer, I do feel this gentleman is quite a big gentleman. He's much taller than me because I feel as he comes in my presence, I'm looking up. I also feel with him as well that he was a very meticulous man. Things had to be just so. It's very important for him for details. Can anyone take any of this information? It was particularly that swallowing feeling. Can you take this information? What can you take? Okay. Oh yeah, don't give me any more. Don't feed me. Okay. May I work with you? Okay. As this gentleman come in, I do feel there was a lot of love. Would there have been a real close relationship with this gentleman? And I also feel with him, oh, I'm glad he's taken that away because now I can talk properly. I do feel with him as well that some people misunderstood him a little bit. He could come over as being quite abrupt. Does that make sense? And unless you knew him, you wouldn't understand that's just part of his character. Okay. I also feel with this gentleman, he also had a bit of sense of humour, and I can almost feel him when he laughs, he really does laugh. Does that make sense to you at all? Okay. And I also feel with him as well that this gentleman did have a lot of respect from people around him. They respected his opinion. I mean, sometimes they got irritated by him, but they did respect his opinion. Does that make sense to you? Okay. Okay. He's making me sway backwards and forwards. I don't know if that's to do with you or to him. It's almost as though this motion of rocking a child, just going backwards and forward, he's giving me that sensation. Would that be something that you sometimes feel, that you sort of got this movement, or you feel that you need to move a lot? I've just got that I want to keep moving. Does that make sense to you at all? Okay, I'll try and go back and see what he means by that. Okay. He's almost saying that, I think he's talking about you, but are you a person that cannot sit still and you're a bit of a fidget and you fiddle with things? Yeah, that he's giving me that sense of, even if I'm standing here, I'd be like fiddling with whatever's on the table or the tablecloth. Does that make sense to you? He said, and he's laughing because it's just the way you are. He said, just like the way I was is how I described earlier on. Okay. But he's saying he's very proud of the journey that you've come on, especially in the last couple of years. I don't know what's been happening around you, but I do feel there's a journey of going forward, and you almost like feel like you're on a mission. Yeah? It's almost like I'm on a mission. I'm going forward. Are you okay? Okay. Okay. He said, just keep that going, keep that memento going. Because he said it's been a while, and it's almost as though you feel like you've come into your own now, and you feel like you've taken back control, and you're moving forward. And I do feel also with this gentleman that, like I said, he was quite meticulous with things. Things had to be just so. Does that make sense? He says, you're very much like that as well. Things have to have their place. They have to have their order. He said, that's okay, but sometimes you need to be flexible. He said, I don't know what he means by that, but that's what he's saying. Again, he's smiling and he's laughing. Okay. It's funny, he took my eyes up to those fans up there, and would this gentleman have liked aeroplanes or something to do with aeroplanes? Because he just took me up there, and I thought, well, that's not an aeroplane, but then that's the sign he gave me for an aeroplane. Okay, thank you. He's also showing me a memory. I don't know if it would have been you or it would have been Mum. I don't know. But I do feel there's a gentleman holding a little girl's hand and taking her to, what's that place, Duxford or somewhere like that. It's an air show. Would that make sense? Just hold on to that, because I do feel it's taken me to that area for some reason. Okay. Okay. He's also... do you have a boy around you, a young boy in the family? He's sort of like about this high. He's saying that he's round this little boy for some reason. He's spending quite a lot of time, and this little boy is aware of your granddad being there. Would he be a child that used to play a lot with cars as well? Yeah. But he's showing me a little blue car. I don't know whether it was a favourite car, but there's a little blue car he's showing me as being significant. Okay? Okay. But I do feel that Grandad's coming in to acknowledge this new found oomph in you, as he's putting it. And he wants to just say that he's really, really proud of you. Okay? And I said, if you could give a gift, what would it be? Oh dear. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what it is. Okay. So what he's given me is, I don't know if you've seen these bikes where you can put the children in the front, but he's given me one of those to give to you. But I don't see children in it. I actually see a dog in it. So I'm not really sure what he means by that. But he's literally given me this vision of this bike thing with a dog in it. Do you have a dog? It's almost as though if you would have had a dog, that's the sort of treatment it would have got, you know. And he's laughing again, and it's almost as though he just wants to acknowledge what you've done. He wants to acknowledge, and you to acknowledge that he is around you. You can feel him. You can feel that sense now. And he said, just keep going. Just keep going forward. And he wants to leave lots of love with you. Thank you so much for speaking up. Okay. I've now had a lady step forward. I do feel with this lady. She's a mother, she's a sister. That's what I'm getting so far. I'm getting that feel of the energy. As she comes into my energy, I feel she's about the same height, about the same build. I also feel with this lady that she was a bit breathless, so this would have been something that she would have experienced towards the end of her physical life. I also feel with this lady as well, she's showing me a ring. So a ring would have been a symbol that would have been passed on to the person here. Okay. I also feel with this lady that she really loved flowers. She really loved flowers. Can anyone take any of this information? What information could you take? All of it. May I work with you? Are you following me, Barry? Okay, may I work with you? Is this mum? Okay. So I feel with mum that, like I said, she had a real love of flowers, okay, and she was short of breath before she passed, okay. She said, I'm fine now. I'm doing really well. But I do feel with mum that there might have been a bit of tension between you two. Would that make sense? Okay. Are you okay to carry on? Yeah? But I do feel with mum that she has learned a lot since going to the spirit world. As we say, you know, we progress as we pass. But I do feel with this mum that she could be quite difficult at times. Does that make sense? But the love was there, okay? And the love, and she appreciates what you did. She appreciates what you did for her, okay? I also feel there's a gentleman with her as well, but he's standing more to one side. He's not coming forward, but I just thought I'd make you aware of that. But I do feel with this lady that there is also some regret as well. Okay, I'm not sure what that's about. But then I feel also that this lady wants to bring positivity to you, and she wants to bring healing to you as well. And also I'm feeling that she wants to come forward with the healing, especially around the back area. Does that make sense? So she's sending healing around there. But it's not just her. It's almost as though there are more people stepping forward. So I do feel there's quite a few people stepping forward for you. Okay. I'm also being taken back with a memory. And I do feel with this memory that she's showing me a house. I don't know if it was one that you lived in or whether she lived in, but I do feel when I walk into the house that the stairs are on the left-hand side, and there's a bit of a hallway, and then the lounge is on the right-hand side, and she's just standing there. Would that be somewhere that you would recognise? It's almost as though this house seems important to this lady. So it would have either been where she would have lived or where you would have lived. I'm not sure. So I'll leave that with you just to think about for now. But she's quite adamant that this would be recognisable to you. Okay. Have you had, I shouldn't ask questions, but have you had an incident with a ladder recently? Whether the ladder wouldn't work or somebody's had problem with a ladder? For some reason, a ladder's been put into my mind, so that's not for you. I'll take that back. Okay. But I do feel with this lady that she is working quite fast with me, and I do feel that she would have been somebody that talked quite fast. Would that make sense about her? When she talked, she could talk for quite a while. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. But she said, you're not like that. You think a lot before you speak. Is that right? And it's almost as though you're very mindful of your words and how you impact other people. Okay. But what this lady wants to give you is a big bunch of flowers, but these flowers are something specific for what you'd like. And it's almost as though they're that pink of your T-shirt. So it would have been, they're like big daisy things, and she wants to give you a handful of those as well. And it's almost as though you know you like to have colour, and the colour does help you feel better. But she says, just keep going forward. She said, I am there. My love and everyone else's love is with you. So take their love, and thank you for speaking up. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sorry, I just... Okay, is that lovely lady? Step back. I feel there's another gentleman with me. I do feel it's another granddad. I do feel with this granddad, he has a brother. I'm not sure if he's in the spirit world as well, but that's what I'm getting at the moment. I do feel with this gentleman that he's taller than me. They all seem to be taller than me. I also feel with this gentleman that he was quite nervous. He had a lot of nervous energy, and it was almost as though the energy he was on the go the whole time. All I can feel like, I just want to walk about more than what I actually am doing, and I can't stand still. I also feel with this gentleman as well that he had very quiet times where he would just sit and observe everybody else. Can anyone recognise any of this information? I do feel it's granddad, and I do feel with this gentleman that he was a family man. I do feel with this gentleman he had a brother. What else do you get? I also feel with this gentleman that before he passed there was a very heavy pressure on the chest area. I do feel that was how his physical life ended. I also feel with this gentleman that he was positive, but he found it very difficult to communicate his feelings. Can anyone not recognise this gentleman? I'm just trying to look round. You? Okay, what can you take? All of it. May I work with you? Okay, that's it. It's taken that away from me now. I do feel with this gentleman that he was somebody who knew what he wanted. And also, I get the impression he's a bit of a charmer as well. Would that make sense? Yes. It was almost as though I've now gone from this nervous person to this very charming and confident person. And he's making me laugh. And when he did have his moments of sense of humour, he was actually quite funny. Yes. Does that make sense? But he could go from that one person to being somebody who could just sit there and just not say anything and just not get involved in the conversation. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. He's showing me, for some reason, he's showing me a motorbike, but it's quite an old one, a real old-fashioned type motorbike. Okay. And then he's almost wanting to put these funny goggles on me as well. Does that make sense? Okay, I don't like them. Okay. What else is he giving me? And I do feel that this gentleman was one who liked being out and out. He didn't like going in crowded spaces. He just didn't do it. If he could take a bike and just go somewhere, he would. Okay. Shut me now. For some reason, he's shown me some steps, but there's only 3 steps.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It really does.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh dear. And I just feel that this gentleman, he was a lovable rogue. He was just, like I said, absolutely charming. And he just said, keep going forward, mate. Keep going forward. What's it showing me now? It's really funny, but he's actually, I said, what would you give as a gift? And he says, a pair of wings. Okay, so he said he'd give you a pair of wings. Just take his respect. And thank you very much for speaking up. And he's a lovely gentleman. Thank you. Okay. I've now got this lady, but this lady wants to get me to dance, and I'm not going to do that. I do feel that this lady liked to party. I do feel like this lady, even though, so she said, reached a good age, she still liked to move around and she liked to dance. I also feel with her as well, she was a lady who really looked after herself and really liked to, if she was going out, she liked to dress up. Okay, I'm not sure of what relationship she is at the moment, but I do feel this dancing was significant, and I do feel like this lady was very, very positive in her outlook. She knew she had a lot of ailments, but she never let it get to her. And I do feel with this lady that she was quite slim, probably just slightly taller than me, she feels. Can anyone take this information at all? This lady liked to dance. She liked to go to a party, even if it was just a family party. She really enjoyed having a party. Okay. I also feel with her as well that towards the end, her mobility was quite restricted. And I feel that the hands were very, she's taken me to now in her later years when her hands were really, really tight and she couldn't move the fingers very well. And I think that's something that would have been quite noticeable. Can anyone recognise that at all? No. Okay.
My mother can, but I'll go and tell her who it is. She doesn't realise yet. 1 second. Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. It's her. Yeah. Okay. She wasn't paying attention, so I had to bring her back to the world.
Could you recognise any of that information?
See?
I do feel that this lady could be quite an exciting lady. I do feel that she, like I said, she liked to party. It didn't matter whether it was a family party or a friend's party. She just loved being around people. Does that make sense? Would she be sister? No. Oh, I'm getting sister, so whether she's got a sister or not, I don't know. But I heard sister being shouted out. Okay. I'm also getting a name. Don't very often get names. Jean, the name Jean. So whether that's around her or around you, I'm not sure. But I just said it because it's been shouted. But I do feel there is quite a few around me now you've spoken to me. Okay. I also feel with this lady that, did she have a fascination for lights? Pretty lights? Yeah, she said, just mention the pretty lights. So, you mentioned that. Okay. I also feel with her as well that, like I said, she was very, very positive. And when she went into a room, that actually oozed out from her. And people felt really comfortable in her presence. Okay. And I also feel that what she wants me to say to you is she is moving on and she is having a party up there as well. We say up there, but it's around us, isn't it? But she says, she has got her movement back. She's got she's got a vibe back. I don't know what she means by that, but okay. I also feel with her as well that she does come in often, and there are photographs of her that you have. Yes. Okay. For some reason, she's showing me a feather boa. Would that make sense to you at all? Okay. Right. It's all right. It was tickling around my neck. I could feel it. Okay. And I just feel that she's come in just to lighten your mood and just to let you know that she is around, even though you know spirit are around you. But I feel this lady has been around you recently. I don't know if there's a birthday or anniversary coming up, but I do feel there's a reason why she's come close. Okay. Okay. Another random thought she's just put in my head was, what are they called? A teepee, a tent. Would that make sense? Would that have anything to do with her at all? It's like the old-fashioned style tent. She's just put that into my mind as well, so I thought I'd share that with you. Okay. I can't say that. Okay. Another thing she's showing me, it's almost as though she's putting you in a wheelbarrow and wheeling you along, and she's laughing. I don't know if there's something that happened with a wheelbarrow or there was a memory, but all I'm seeing is you sitting in there and she's pushing it. Okay. The things I give you. Okay. Just take her love and just keep smiling, she said. Okay. Thank you so much for speaking up eventually. Thank you. Okay. As that lady walked away, all I saw was an image. I don't know if anyone here knows what the Tree of Life looks like, but that's really come strongly in my mind. And I'm seeing lots of other images and pictures of art. I'm not quite sure why I've shown that, but I had to say it or else I'd keep repeating it. Anyway, so as the images start to disappear, I now see a lady and I can feel her come into my energy, and I do feel this lady would really appreciate nice artwork. Does this make sense to anyone? Because she was quite specific. She showed me lots of different things, but this Tree of Life was really significant. Whether anyone's got a necklace or earrings or something with Tree of Life on it. Does everybody know what that is? It's similar to what I've got on my necklace. Has anyone got a piece of jewellery with that on? Because I do. May I work with you? I know it's a bit random, but I do feel with this lady, this was quite specific. It was a piece of jewellery with this on. I don't think it's hers, but I'm seeing jewellery and I'm seeing an art picture of it as well. Okay, so we'll just move that to one side. But I do feel with this lady that she was... she's not showing me how old she is, but I do feel that she thought she was going to live longer than she did. Does that make sense at all to you? I do feel with this lady that it was probably about my height. I can't really see her build, but I do feel that she was a lady that had quite a lot of energy. And I do feel this lady also was quite positive. I also feel with her as well that she liked to dress nicely. She took pride in her appearance, not to the extreme of being vain or anything like that, but I do feel, and she's making me feel that she was a nice, gentle lady as well. Would this make sense to you at all? Okay. And it's almost as though she wants to take you and give you a hug at the moment. I'm not sure if it's what you need at the moment, but I do feel I want to gather you up in my arms and give you a hug. Okay? Okay. I'm also seeing with this lady, she's taking my attention. I know I said about artwork, but I'm not sure if that's significant around you or her. Would you understand the artwork? Yeah. Okay. And another thing she's showing me is quite a big clock on the wall, and it is quite big. Would that make sense? Would that be something from a memory? It's almost like it's like a metal one, but it's got pieces cut out of it. Okay. Okay. I also feel with her as well, she did have a serious side to her. She had quite a serious side to her as well. So sometimes you weren't quite sure what mood she was in. She was quite interchangeable. I think that's quite a polite way of putting it, isn't it? And I also feel that you can be a bit like that as well. Does that make sense? Yes, you're smiling, so I take that as a yes. Okay. Okay. She's taken me back and she's given me a memory of a party that took place in a barn. Would that make sense at all? She's showing me this big barn area and there's lots of people gathering in there and it looks like a party to me. But she's taken me back as a memory link. So just hold on to it. If you can't take it, just hold on to it because if I don't say it, she'll just keep repeating it. Okay. Oh, what's that? I do feel with this lady as well that when she had a mission, she certainly had a mission. When she got her teeth into something, she really went for it. Does that make sense? And she says you're a bit like this as well. I don't know why she's comparing it, but I do feel that this lady respects your way of life and the way you live, and she just respects you as a person. She thinks you're absolutely amazing at what you do. I'm not sure what you do because I've never seen you before, but she says, I really do appreciate and like what you're doing. What she is saying though, she says to give yourself more opportunities, you've got to let go of some things that are in the past that are pulling you back. Okay? She says you need to cut those ties. You need to forgive and move forward. She said there are things that you're missing out on because you're so busy trying to pull yourself forward, you're not gathering all what you need to get. Does that make sense at all? Okay. And it's almost as well, this lady is quite visual. She's given me lots of different colours as well, and they're all swirling around. So I'm not sure of the significance of that, but I am seeing a lot of colour and a lot of colour around you too. Okay. Okay. She wants me to give you a balloon as well. Does that make sense to you? Just wants me to hand you a balloon with a piece of ribbon on it. Okay? So she's going to give you that. And she wants to give you lots of love. And thank you so much for speaking up. Thank you. Go for it, Barry. Okay. So I've now had another gentleman come into my energy. I feel with this gentleman that he's definitely taller than me, but not ever so much taller. I also feel with him as well, he worked with his hands. I do feel his hands were very rough because he used his hands and he was washing them a lot for his job. I also feel with him as well that he was a husband. I feel with him as well that he was a real family man. He lived and worked for his family, and sometimes that was detrimental to the family. The family did not see him as much as they would have liked to. Can anyone take this gentleman at all? May I work with you? I also feel, as you spoke to me, I do feel there's a lot of love there. And it was like, almost like the relationship was really, really strong, and it was for a long time. Does that make sense? I also feel with this gentleman that he was fiercely territorial with his family. He really fought for everyone and worked really hard for everyone. Does that make sense? Okay. He's now giving me a bit of remote viewing. He's showing me, some reason he's showing me standing on a pavement looking towards a church. It would have been a church that would have been seen on a regular basis. Would that be somewhere near you? He took me to this church, and this church I can see in front of me, and there was like a brick wall either side, and then there was a gateway. Does that make sense? Okay, thank you. Have you been experiencing flashing lights going off, on and off? Not totally off, but just like dimming and getting brighter. Yeah, I do feel there's been a lot of physical. Yeah, that's him. Okay, if it makes you unhappy, tell him to stop. And he said, "I'll stop." He said, "But sometimes I just like to make my presence known." And he would have done if he was here. He would make his presence known. You knew when he was in the room. Okay, and I do feel he's got this lovely smile, and it's just got. When he hugged, he really did give a bit of a bear hug. Does that make sense? You know, that nice hold-on hug. And he's just such a lovely man, and his energy is absolutely lovely. It's almost as though I feel safe, and that's how he made you feel. He made you feel safe. Okay. I can really feel my heart racing, because obviously he wants to say so much more, but obviously it's in an open forum, so he can't. It's almost as though you know how much he loved you, and you know that the physical isn't there, but you'll know. He says, "I'm always around you. I am always around you. Whenever you send out that thought, I am with you." Okay. He says that he wants you to make sure you start laughing a little bit more. Okay? Laughter was something we shared together. Laughter was something that was really, really, really important. Is that your dad? Okay. And since you just spoke to me then, I can really feel that pull. I just want to give you both a hug, and that's something he would have done. He'd have hugged both of you at the same time. Okay. I'm just trying to calm his energy down, because it's very difficult working when he's emotional as well. But I do feel that he is so proud, because you have overcome so much, especially in the last year or so. You have come so far, and he is so proud of you. But you've been feeling him around you as well, haven't you, recently? Is there an anniversary or birthday coming up? Because there's lots of thoughts been sent out to him. It's almost, I'm going to be there. It's just like, he's sort of like suited and booted, so I'm going to be there. But literally, he'd have a suit on, but he'd have his boots on as well. Does that make sense? Would it have been something he would have worn? Boots. He's taking me to boots as well. Being significant. Yeah, and it's almost laughing because he's got his boots on, but and he's just joking around. Okay. He just said a comment, "I'd never have enough room in my wardrobe for more than one pair of shoes." I don't know what he meant by that, but I think he's trying to imply that you've got a lot of shoes. But and this is what he wants. He wants to bring this humour, and he wants you to start laughing. He said, "That's what I fell in love with, that smile, that laughter." He says, "Just think of me and smile now." He said, "Just think of me and smile now." Okay. I said, "What gift would you give?" And for you, he's giving me a bow and arrow for some reason. It's almost, like in archery. And he's just saying, "Give it a go. Give it a go. Aim for that target." Okay? So I think that might be a bit of a coded message there. Okay. And what I'd like to give to you is a bouquet. he said, remember the flowers that I gave you. They're for you. And they're always going to be with you. And he's always going to be with you. So thank you so much for speaking up. Loads of love from him and big hugs, okay? Thank you so much. Sorry? Last 15 minutes. Whoa. Right, this is going to be really random, but I can feel that there's a horse behind me. Anyone lost a horse by any chance? Is that... I feel there's a horse breathing down my neck. You know when they come up behind you and and it would have been something he would have done, nuzzled in the back of your neck. Well, he's nuzzling down my neck for you, which that's really strange. Yeah, that's all I'm getting is this nuzzling at the back of the neck. I can't see him, but I do feel his head would have been sort of here. Yeah. And it's almost as though he's nudging me towards you again, if he could. And it was, did he used to sort of like put his head here, really close to your face, and just that he's doing now? So he wants to give that to you as well. Okay. Thank you. So you can go away now. Stop breathing down my neck. Okay. Whew, there's a lot of emotion there. Just give me a minute to... Okay. So I now feel there's a lady that's jumped in, and I do feel with this lady, she's quite feisty. And when I mean feisty, she wasn't afraid to give her opinion. I do feel with this lady that she's saying auntie or aunt. So whether she's an aunt or the person here is an aunt, I'm not sure. I also feel with this lady that she's probably about my side, maybe a bit shorter. Oh, that makes a change. A bit shorter than me. But I do feel that this lady was quite opinionated, but she was very honest as well with it. Can anyone take any of this information? I do feel drawn to you at the back there, you in purple. No, is it for you? No, it's for you. I think I'm with you. Would you take this lady at all? You can say no, it's just that I suddenly got drawn to you. So this lady would have been sort of like just a little bit smaller than me, and I do feel that she could be quite feisty at times. So she had an opinion, but she was very honest and very truthful. Sometimes it did get her into a bit of trouble. Would you recognise any of that at all? Sorry? Okay. I also feel with her that when she walked, she actually like took big strides for such a, I'm going to say a small lady, which she's not, but she didn't just walk really slowly. It was a real striding walk. Would you recognise that at all? Okay. I also feel that she would have tied her hair back as well. And it wasn't that long, but she used to try and tie it all back. Whether or not it was because she didn't have time to do her hair or not, I just feel that it was pulled back for some reason. Yeah, I don't feel it's long, but I just almost feel like she's trying to do something with the hair. So whether it was unruly hair, I don't know, but for some reason she's bringing me to the hair. Okay, what was that? Okay. I'm also seeing a lighthouse as being significant. Would that be something around you or around her? A lighthouse. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely near the sea. She's showing me, she's looking out, and there's a lighthouse, and then you've got the sea. So she's showing me that. And I can feel the wind, and it's quite a cold wind as well. Okay. For some reason, she's also showing me a hammock, but that's not to do with her, that's to do with you. Have you at some point been in a hammock? It's really random. It's like a multicoloured hammock. And it's almost as though I can just see you swinging from side to side. So I don't know if it's just a metaphor for something, but it's almost as though sometimes you need that just to chill and just feel that gentle swinging motion. Okay. It's quite funny. I just feel like there's a little film going on around you in this hammock. So I'm not sure what she's trying to say with this. But it's almost as though you're in this hammock and then somebody's waiting on you. So whether or not it's a bit of a joke that you don't get waited on or not, but I do feel this lady did have a sense of humour as well. Okay. It's really strange. Okay. I'm also being shown a wicker basket as being significant. Would you have, it's quite a sturdy handle and stuff would have been put in this basket. And it's almost like a picnic was put in this basket as a memory link, she's showing me. Yeah, okay. I'm also seeing, would this lady have had a dog of some sort, or you've had a dog that's passed? I do feel it's like a medium-sized dog, and I do feel it was one that was always around your legs. Would she have had a dog at all? You've got some dogs. Oh, this one's sort of like a black colour, a dark colour. Is it brown? Okay. Right, yeah, that's yours. It's definitely leaving me. It's coming to you now. Okay. It's a good job I like animals, isn't it? Okay. I do feel that there's quite a strong message that this lady wants to bring. She's on about taking opportunities. Okay, it's almost as though something's going to be coming up and you've got to make a decision whether or not you're going to be taking it. She said, do it. And it's almost, do it! And she wants to get behind you and push you. Okay, so I don't know what that is, but she's very enthusiastic about you doing it. Okay? And it's almost as though you are where you're meant to be now, but she says you need to go forward. Okay? She said there are a few things, like this lady over here, pulling you back, but you need to carry on, forgive, and move forward. Okay? She's showing me this sieve. You know the ones where you're hunting for gold and you rattle it around? She's showing me one of those. She says, you're going to find your piece of gold. Okay? So take her love, and thank you so much for working with me. Thank you. Okay. So I've got a young man with me now. Well, I'm not sure if he passed as a young man, but he's showing me as a young man. I do feel with this young man that he's slightly taller than me. I do feel with this young man, he was very strong. His job involved a lot of work using his strength. I also feel with this young man that at times he was quite troubled. I do feel with this young man, he had a brother as well. And not really getting much more than that at the moment, but I do feel his presence is quite strong, and I'm not sure who I'm with. Would anyone recognise a young man in the world of spirit who was very, very strong, and he had to be strong for his work? Okay. Okay. I also feel with this gentleman that I'm not really sure what he's trying to say, but I do. Am I with you again, with this young man? I do feel drawn over this way. Okay, let's see what else we can get from him. I also feel with him as well that this gentleman has a lot of regrets as well. And I also feel with him that there's also a lot of love, but there's a lot of misunderstanding. Does anyone take this at all? Am I with you again? But I do feel with this gentleman there is quite a sad side to him, and that would have been what he would have been like here. I'm trying to be quite tactful because I do feel that he probably took his own life, or it was like self-destruction. It was that type of thing. He's making me feel. Oh, good. He's relaxed now. So I also feel there was things unsaid, but he says, you know what the truth is. You know what the truth is.
Yes.
Okay? You know what the truth is. So it's just step back. So that's all I can give you. I'm sorry.
That's more than enough.
Okay. Whew. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I have another mum with me. I have a very happy mum. I do feel that this mum is very pleased and very happy and really proud. I also feel with this mum that I'm just hearing lots of names. One of the names is Betty and another name is Grace as well. So that would be around her, or it would be around someone here. I also feel with her as well that this lady had lots of ailments, but she never complained. I do feel that she was a lady with great strength. Okay. I also feel, again, I feel there's something around the throat. There's a difficulty in swallowing. I also feel there's a difficulty in talking. Can anyone take this information? Okay. What else is showing me? I do feel that there was a frame that she would have used later in her life. But even so, this lady kept smiling. This lady kept doing what she needed to do. I'm also getting around her as well the month of November as being significant. So that would be an anniversary or a birthday. I also feel that this lady spent time looking out of a window. Can anyone take any of this specific information? Sorry? Okay, it looks like I'm back with you. It's like in the family, isn't it? Okay. I do feel with this, is it mum? Yeah, I do feel it's got that, is it mum's mum? Yes, that makes sense. Okay. But I do feel with her that she's come to push you forward. I do feel she's come with this positivity. She's come with this strength to push you forward. She said, I won't push you too hard because you might trip over. And I do feel that she did have a sense of humour. And she surprised people with that. Okay. Oh, what a lovely lady. Do you recognise the name Betty? Because I've heard it shouted again. Betty. So, okay. She wants me to give you an Easter egg. So I don't know if there's something significant around that Easter time. I know it's the obvious reason why we celebrate Easter. But is there something significant around that Easter time? It's almost as though it's like a new beginnings or something else. The egg's going to open and something is going to come out. And it's not going to be chocolate. Oh, no, it's not going to be chocolate. Does that make sense to you? Good. Okay. And I also see that there's a candle burning somewhere. And it's a candle that's lit on a regular basis. Would that make sense to you? She's saying, though, somebody keeps blowing it out. So when you light it, somebody blows it out. She's laughing about that, so I don't know what she means, but we can imagine. Okay, just take her love and just keep going forward. Okay, thank you for speaking up. Thank you. I'm sorry I haven't got round to everybody, but I hope that you can take something from the messages we have. Spirit are always around us, always giving us love. And like Nick said earlier on, just be kind to one another, because that's the most important thing for all of us to be. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm sure we can all agree that that was a wonderful and uplifting demonstration of mediumship. But as everyone knows, when I interfere with the... oh, thank you for remembering me, Barry, but you got the wrong... There we go. See, the thing is, he's a pretty decent cameraman. He's a pretty decent cameraman, but he's better in the kitchen, aren't he, Greg Wallace?
Do you want your thingy? Do you want your thingy?
Oh, yeah, that would help. Thank you. Well spotted. Everyone at home didn't care too much. Yeah, he looks like a cameraman, but he looks more like Greg Wallace, the TV chef, doesn't he? And that's his third. I'll leave him alone now. When either myself or a family member gets a message, I like to demonstrate a little bit of proof for everyone, especially when my mother doesn't remember who she is. However, whilst the service was going on, I uploaded a picture onto StreamYard to demonstrate just how accurate that message was, because many of you will have heard of her. Some of you will recognise her, and you'll certainly recognise the description of someone being pushed around in a barrow. And you're going to be quite surprised because you know her too. Take a look at the screen. It's our Reverend Wendy. Being pushed around on that chair barrow, over in that corner there, being shoved around the village hall by my dad. And that is the lady who first got you to this church, Reverend Wendy. So she caught you out, as she would like to do so. And so, yeah, that was Wendy. And yes, she did love to dance. Especially with me dad in a sack barrow. But that's another story for another day. So, ladies and gentlemen, a big Littleport thank you to Tracy Bidwell! Well, friends, it's been a very uplifting evening, and of course, healing's come up on more than one occasion. So it's time for the secret to be revealed. We don't like to rest on our laurels here, and we don't like to say that once we do something one way, that's the way it's going to stay. We listen, we hear, and we change as required. There was something we used to do that we're going to kind of chop up and recycle. We have been having discussions, and we feel that healing needs to be a little bit more prominently featured and given the time it deserves. And so therefore, from next week, anyone who wishes to give healing will be able to do so as part of the service again. And anyone who wishes healing can be given healing during the healing silence. It won't take me very long to increase the video by an extra minute. And I know that 3 people at least have already agreed to do so. And if anyone would like to offer healing during the service for people that would want it, well, you're going to need to talk to the bloke that's going to be leading it. And that's not me. Because as some people, Barry, that's one for next week, would point out, people get a bit bored of my voice sometimes. And shut up. And also, it is time to start progressing the development of others. Because they want it, because they desire it, and because it will help them do things in other ways. So, a gentleman has been very clearly in my mind, and I know it's only going to be symbolic, but healing really took a big boom in another member of our congregation in the world of spirit. George Leahy, who I made reverend at his funeral, much to his disappointment, and he slapped me round the back of the head for it, I'm sure, was our healing leader. And the truth is, we haven't officially had a healing leader since he left us. There's been someone been doing the job. But I think it's about time that he started taking on that responsibility properly. And so from next week, from either up front, if there's enough in the congregation, or from within the congregation actually doing the job, which I know he'd prefer, supervision of healing will be performed by our new healing leader, official healing leader, Tony. So if you would like to give healing during the service, at the end of tonight's service, come and see me and Tony, because then we can organise between us how we're going to do it. I know we've got Sam, I know we've got Barry, I know we've got Daryl, and I'm sure there'll be others that want to. So now's the time that we can increase the healing even more. And it's very, very exciting. So I give, and Hannah, if you want to, you can too. Absolutely. Of course you can. So you got 4 now. You got 4 now. Seriously, anyone who wants to give healing under the supervision of a trained healer is allowed to in public, because we have the insurance policy on the hall for public liability, and that's all you need when it's under supervision. There you go. There we go. Absolutely. And I think it's going to be... See, look how many people are interested already, whether they've been told to or not, you know. I think it's an exciting step forward and revisit of something we've done before. And it's amazing what a text message can achieve. And so I give you healing leader Tony and his new healers. And I look forward to watching the development of everyone's healing. Hannah and Sam and Barry and Daryl, I know he's in another healing circle, but we'll let him off. And of course, your good self joining in as well. I think it's a very positive and effective step forward. So anyone interested, Healing Corner in about 10 minutes. Thank you, everyone. And thank you all for coming tonight, and thank you for being part of a really, really wonderful adventure every week. It's good to see smiling faces and cheerful voices and happy people each week. And I really do look forward to seeing you either online or travelling about 3 hours. You know, I've done that journey myself at 6 a.m, so I do sympathise. But no, thank you all so very, very much. And of course, thank you to Reverend Alan, who's either laying down or asleep. There he's awake. He's awake. And of course, thank you all. But a big, once more, thank you to our medium for this evening, Tracy Bidwell. So friends, there's only 3 things left to do. We have tea and coffee, raffle, and a prayer. But before I do that, I know I would get in big trouble. Thank you. If I did not show everybody Bully's special prize for this evening. Oh, I like it that way. Oh, hello. Cool. It's amazing what you see what you ain't got your glasses on, isn't it? So, Bully's special prize, which you can win in the raffle. Win in the raffle tonight. For everyone at home, if you want a copy, just press print screen now. Or Control V. And of course, you can win this lovely encaustic art a la Hannah. Once again, we're sticking to 3 colours, so well done. I'll bring this back down in a moment. But again, thank you all. Let's close this evening in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you truly for the opportunity to come together as friends, to unite under your banner of love and hope and friendship, but also, Great Spirit, to come together to learn more from each other and the world of spirit, to not procrastinate but move forward, to grow and develop and move forward in this journey we called life. We know that at times things can be hard, but it is at this moment, Great Spirit, we ask you not to move the mountain. Just give us the strength to climb. So until we meet again, in your name, Amen. Oh, hello, I'm over that way. Hey, if it hadn't been for you, I'd have forgot that I was pointing myself the wrong way, so thank you, George. Well timed. Bless you all. Thank you so much. And so now, I will say once more, a big thank you, of course, Tracy. And it is now time to get your raffle tickets ready, because it's prize winning time. Over to Bully's Special Prize Corner. And, I think everyone might want to have a listen, actually. So, I'm just going to give this to Hannah. And everyone at home can listen to the raffle. There you go. Because I think they want to hear Bully's Special Prize music, so I'm going to pop it there.
Oh, okay.
Because it'll pick you up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, everyone. Get ready. Then let's dance. It's 105.
105. Yes. Couldn't tell me any prizes are on the table. Nicola. Let's see how many prizes are on the table.
It's 36.
36.
Bless you. Oh. Drop it on the ground. Next one is 41.
41.
Hello. Next one. 106.
106.
66.
106, anyone?
Next one. 157.
157. Oh, sorry. 157.
Yeah. Next one. Look. 110.
110.
Everybody?
There's one more. That's 110. Then 110.
110.
Okay.
Safe journeys.
Next one is 118.
118.
118. 118, anyone?
118.
Someone's got one.
Hey!
What's the last one?
So I have a question. Hannah,
What time is it?
what
Dance mix.
time is it? Fully special prizes.
See you tonight. Is 111.
Hey! Congratulations!
Well done. Thank you.
And thank you. I will just.
Well
I'm
done,
just
my
gonna
love.
put that down.
So, my friends,
Well done, my love.
Bully Special Prizes won. Let me turn off Handycam because I thought everyone might like to join in tonight on that side of it. And, of course, Bully Special Prize to you. Well done. Well, friends, that concludes this evening. The kitchen is open. From all of us to everyone who's managed to make it through this last hour and a half. From everyone here to everyone at home, it's after 3. 1, 2, 3. Good night, and God bless you all. And for everyone here, the kitchen is now open.